Hey G.I. Joe fans, Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for a G.I. Joe toy review. Today we're going to be rolling the clock back to 1992 to a defunct toy line, or an idea of a toy line that was known as the D.E.F, or the Drug Elimination Force, which was absorbed into the Battle Corps line. We are going to be looking at the 1992 head of the bad guys of the Drug Elimination Force, Kingpin. Yes, the criminal underlord, overlord, whatever you want to call him, the rotten scum of the pseudo Cobra yuckiness of this line, the Kingpin, the drug dealer of Cobra. Now, this is a serious approach that G.I. Joe took with this toy line, and would we see something like this in a toy line today, given the crisis that we are facing with fentanyl? I don't know. Would parents allow kids to play with drug dealers? Probably not. Should it be a part of your children's education? Absolutely. In my line of work, I deal with this on a daily. I see the effects, the negative effects that drugs have on people's lives. I also see the positive effects that drugs have on the lives of people. And fortunately, I deal with the positive effects. I use drugs to help people breathe better. I use drugs to save people's lives as far as cardiac drugs go. When somebody goes into cardiac arrest, we push epinephrine and all these other drugs to try to get your heart started again. So pharmacology is essential in my line of work. And unfortunately, it has been twisted, and it has been turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry for centuries. Should I say centuries? For quite some time. It's as long as man has been around, we've sought after pleasure. And we have learned to twist and manipulate the chemicals of plants to enhance that pleasure that plants give, to enhance the pleasure that it for our bodies. But anyway, I digress. So should children play with a drug dealer toy? With me being a parent, that's a very good question. I'm leaning more towards the maturity of the child, and it would be up to that individual of a parent. Yeah, I'm taking this down a serious road here because it is a serious subject, and I think that's why Hasbro got away from this line of D.E.F. because too many parents complained about the seriousness of this whole thing. When I was a kid, the D.E.F program started, Drug Abuse Resistance Education. And I, for one, really perked up and paid attention to the D.E.F program. And listened to what the D.E.F officer had to say. I still remember his name, Officer Myers. He was a really cool guy. I remember he would come and play with us on the playground, and he even took an active part with the school. If we were Student of the Month, he would take that student and set a day aside where he would get permission from the teacher and he would play with us individually on the playground. And whatever favorite game we had, he would play with us individually on that playground to be a positive force in our lives. And that was really neat. And that left a very positive impression with me, with the police department. And I had even seriously gave consideration to becoming a police officer, and even tried out for the police force, and was a candidate for a police department out here, and opted to stay in healthcare because it was a better fit for me. They're both a strong passion for me, law enforcement and healthcare. Some days I wish I would have become a cop. I could have been retired by now. Other days, I'm glad I didn't become one. But that's neither here nor there. So, yeah. What would you have done? Would you have allowed your kids to play with this toy line as it was G.I. Joe, having the police force combating the Kingpin and the Headhunter and the Headhunter stormtroopers against combating drugs? They even showed up in the DEC animated series. Or would you even had cared? The kids don't care. It's a toy. Would they have played with it like that? To them, these are cool action figures. There's that fact as well. I think it's parents that more looked at it that way. I mean, an 8-year-old kid, drug dealer, to me, he looks more like a pimp than anything. I like the fact that they were cops in the line. I mean, they were MPs to me. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this before I really get off on another tangent. This is something I take very personally. I've seen the negative effects that it has on people, and it's especially with the fentanyl. It's not pretty, folks. It's not. It's one bad pill. Just one. That's all it takes is one, and you end up a vegetable. Seriously. Tube in your throat, on a ventilator for the rest of your life. What quality of life is that? Some guy like me taking care of you? Do you want that? But anyway, let's take a look at this. Get on a more happier tone. So here we go. Let's take a look at Kingpin. This pimpish looking dude. All right, here he is, Kingpin himself. I mean, he's a pretty sharp-looking action figure, to say the least. This guy, I love the colors on him. The little raccoon Kato mask on him. Just everything about him. So let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories first. One, he has this really awesome looking futuristic, I want to call this a shotgun, a scoped shotgun. You notice that it has a break in the barrel here, so the bullet has to pass through this break, so you have this nice little flash coming out of the barrel, then it goes through another barrel. Pretty cool. It's done up in gold, of course, because he is the Kingpin. And then just turn my computer on. What are the 90s without a huge rocket launcher? Huh? What are the 90s without it? This one is supposed to light up when you fire it. If you could see on the inside right here, this is a battery-powered rocket launcher. You can see the batteries here at the top. I don't want to spend the extra money to put batteries in this just to have it light up, to fire it. The spring is pretty weak in my example, but you can see the detail in it. Pretty nice. And at the top here, it's a Gatling gun. Very nice. And this is self-standing, so he doesn't have to lug that heavy thing around. It came with a single gold missile. And this one mounts any direction, it appears. So actually I lied. The bevel side, the side with the little groove, goes up, and the slotted side down at the bottom. And then he came with his figure stand, of course. So looking at him, he has this very cool black suit with gold pinstriping on it. Some pinstriping is more pronounced than others. It tends to wear off. The gold is more pronounced with others than my example. There is a version 2 of this where his suit is brown, but he's wearing a black fedora. He has a black Kato style, I call this a raccoon mask. It's tied around his head. It goes under his hat, if you could see that line right up underneath the hat. He has a Fu Manchu style mustache and a little soul patch. Very menacing looking eyes. Blonde hair, which I think is very interesting, done up in a ponytail, which is a nice little contrast. His hair is a soft plastic. The blonde hair is a nice contrast against the black mustache. At one point of time, I did have platinum blonde hair, and as you could see that my beard and mustache were black. So this is it can happen. Underneath, he has a white shirt with a high collar and a button, and they went as far as adding a collar button onto that they painted. That's a very nice detail to it. This is a double-breasted suit that he is wearing that goes all the way down around his waist. And these are very tight Zorro-style pants. That's what I'm calling him, because he kind of reminds me of Zorro. And he is wearing spats. These are the fancy shoe covers. These normally would be white satin, but his are black because he's a tough guy. He's evil. He just wears black. I was born in darkness, so therefore I am. And the heels of his shoes used to be gold. You can still see there's a smattering of gold on them. But yeah, he's a very impressive looking, imposing figure. Oh, here, and the tips of his shoes are gold as well. But I'm very impressed with him. I've been chasing after Headman for a while. I actually traded with a fellow collector for him straight across. So I had something, obviously, that he wanted, and this is the one I wanted. So fair exchange. So that was nice. Nice little exchange. So yeah, very villainesque with this guy. Hasbro did a good job with him. He could fit in any universe. He could switch over into the Cops line without any problem. So, you know, he just has that diversity. Yeah, Cops toy line was very popular at the time as well as the cartoon. I never watched the cartoon. The toys were kind of lackluster for me. Of course, I was in my early 20s, but still I was collecting G.I. Joe. But Cops never really appealed to me. The toy line anyway. But there you have it, guys. Sorry I got off on such a tangent, but that's a subject that's very serious. I've just seen the harmful effects that illicit substances have on people. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. You know, to go down that road, it's not worth your life. Not to even experiment. It's not worth that chance. It's just horrible, horrible stuff out there nowadays. I remember growing up, you know, cocaine was the thing. Oh, cocaine, oh, terrible. Now it just seems so mild. Cocaine and crack, so mild compared to the razor teeth of fentanyl. It's not just fentanyl, it's laced with this super drug. It's nasty. Fentanyl by itself, when used properly under a prescribed setting, is a very powerful and useful analgesic medication. I've been given it for my migraines, and it works well. I don't like taking it. I don't like the way it makes me feel, but when you have a migraine, you just want out of the pain. That's the thing. But I take it in a controlled setting and prescribed. But this crap that's coming overseas and on the streets, I mean, you don't want anything to do with it. And even prescribed, any prescription painkiller, I mean, there's a reason why we have Narcan. And that stuff works quick, believe you me. I've seen it given. Even people, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but yeah, it works, boom, like that. You want to screw up somebody's high, just inject it, a little Narcan up their nose, they get up fighting, it pisses them off. It's like, you want to ruin $30 worth of drugs? Narcan up the nose and yeah. It's funny doing that. You ruined my high. I saved your life. You ruined my high. Well, sorry. Watch you turn blue the next time. You know, cynical approach. And they come back 2 hours later, gorked out of their brain again, you know. Same thing. Narcan up the nose again, come back in a couple days later, you know. But anyway, Kingpin, it's what's for dinner. Yeah, great action figure. Let me know, did you guys have him? Did you have anything from the D.E.F line? Your opinion on the D.E.F line. Did you have the Headhunter Stormtrooper? Please share your thoughts on the subject of D.E.F. I was very shocked when the D.E.F line went under growing up. I was really shocked. It's like such a wholesome idea, and it got absorbed into Battle Corps. So I could understand now as an adult why they would do something like that. But anyway, thank you guys very much for tuning in, for supporting this channel. It wouldn't exist without you. So, guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. You deserve it. You really do. Do something kind for yourself. Be kind to everyone around you. You never know what type of day someone's having. An ounce of kindness does go a very long way. It honestly does. Speaking from experience. I remember having a really bad day, very depressed, and I was walking down the sidewalk and somebody said hi to me, and it just made all the difference in the world. Brightened my day. Clouds parted and my day changed just because a stranger said hi. So just something like that could make a world of difference. Be kind to your animals. They know nothing but unconditional love. So anyway, you guys, you take care. We'll see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review, and I promise I will not go off on another tangent. Okay? It just happened to hit me really hard. This is a serious subject. I'll find something a little more chipper to review. Something a little more boring to review, like a Sky Striker or something. I don't know. If I could pull it off the ceiling. Gosh, I am slap happy. I just got off work. So anyway, we'll see you later. Have a good night. Bye.